His name was Jared. And he would post a TikTok a day. And I remember people were begging to work with this guy. He would just kind of post a TikTok. He would like talk about cool businesses and brands. And like he only had 1,000 followers. And he was getting like way more clients than me. So I was like,
Oh, with 1,000 followers.
yeah.
Wow.
So I was like, if I were to ever do it again, I'd do it the Jared way. So I got back to Toronto again. Like I said, I was super desensitized to just like making videos at that point because it was like everyone around me was doing it in LA. I'd just gotten back to Toronto.
Oh, so there was no like internal friction, because I think a lot of people here, well, me, not so much me, but a lot of people here, I think also are like, there was that aspect of, oh, what are people going to think? I'm going to start putting this out there, all that. So you just like didn't even have that. That was solved for you.
I definitely had it. I was a little numb to it because I had so many friends who were in that space and who were posting videos where I was like, I had as many friends from LA as I had from Toronto who kind of, I was like scared to like post for. That it was like, it kind of balanced out. And in the beginning, you know, when you're posting, you're kind of just like yelling into the void and you just like don't really assume anyone's really listening to it. So it's not scary. It's like posting something on your Instagram story and like, yeah, whatever, 40 people saw it, who cares? So it wasn't that hard to do starting out. I would make these like really horrible videos, like 3 things you need to know about SEO. Like no one cares. No one goes on TikTok to like get yelled at like that.
Yeah. He taught me a lot of what I know about my TikTok because he helped me start my TikTok, but my consistency was off.
Oh yeah.
But I remember you gave me really good advice, so you knew your shit.
Yeah, thank you. I really liked your TikToks, your life advice and stuff. But anyways, yeah. So I post these TikToks and like I kind of got the same effect as Jared, where like couple thousand followers and these like really, really cool brands that I just like knew already at the time DMing me being like, hey, what's your hourly rate? We want to like pay you to get your thoughts on like a funnel we're about to build. And I'm like, oh shit. Like I'm having to like make up an hourly rate now. I'm like, yeah, no, I have an hourly rate. And then everything I like had no structure to this thing. I would consult, but someone would ask me to do something and I'd be like, yeah, that's like actually exactly what I do. They're like, do you build out email flows by any chance? Well, you know what? Yeah, like it's not on the website quite yet because like we're about to launch it next week.
Of course. Yeah, I'm always about to launch it.
Yeah.
Something's in the works right now. Yeah.
That's actually my bread and butter. Like everything anyone said was my bread and butter.
Exactly.
So I just started doing all these like makeshift things. I'd be making emails for people. I'd be running SMS campaigns. I'd be like helping them like manage ads. So I was doing like 10 different things. And it was honestly like getting like pretty distracting from like my 9-to-5 job, which I was like getting paid to do. But
were you making more money from this or was it like just more fun?
Not at this point. It always got to the point where I thought I could like the agency stuff, like my freelance stuff was always getting to a certain point that I'd have to like push it back to like, my rule is always like, it needs to only be 10 hours a week or it's going to be too distracting from this like amazing opportunity that I shouldn't have.
Yeah.
So I always like, it got to a certain point, I'd cut clients and I'd scale back. It would get to a certain point, I'd cut clients and I'd scale back. But like the TikTok was always really fun to do. And I really found I started doing this thing on TikTok where, and this is where like stuff started like kind of blowing up a little bit and the account got bigger, was I started talking about celebrity brands.
Which I remember. I remember this too.
And it was such a good format for TikTok because someone who doesn't like give a shit about marketing can consume that kind of content because it's like,
it's about the celebrity.
Yeah.
Which is actually in that book you see right behind you, $100 Million Leads. Alex Hormozi says the hook, one of the key hooks is using like relevancy or celebrities. Because no, like if I'm eating cereal, don't give us a fuck that I'm eating cereal, except you will one day. I promise you right now.
Yeah, you're going to know.
You're going to know what cereal I'm eating, don't you know? Yeah. You're going to know things that I'm into. But then if Jeff Bezos is eating cereal, all of a sudden it matters.
Oh, yeah.
So you started, so did you...
Bezos Flakes.
Beflix?
Yeah.
It's actually not Jeff Bezos. It's just, he goes by Bezos.
Yeah.
Jeff Bezos now.
Yeah.
So, okay, so you're doing that, you're doing a celebrity. Was this a conscious choice to focus on celebrities, or were you just testing everything out, seeing what landed?
I was testing a lot of different formats. So like in the beginning, it was very like how to, like I'm trying to get these like tactical marketing things out there. No one cared. I was trying to think, it's like, how do I post videos that cast a wide enough net that someone who doesn't care about CPG or marketing or D2C can consume it? Because ultimately I was like, I don't really want these like 10,000 nerds who are in CPG to watch my. I was like, I want it to be a little bigger than that.
Yeah.
But this is like the only thing I know how to talk about with conviction. So I can't talk about anything else. So how do I just like use what I know to like try to cast as wide of a net as possible?
Yep.
So there was like the celebrity stuff that I tested. There was all sorts of stuff. There was like me just like going through like news items from like Ad Age and like marketing magazines and stuff and like talking about that. But I was testing like thousands of different formats, but eventually the celebrity one really stuck, and I just went super hard on that for a few months, and that grew the page to like a really good place. And yeah, I got like a bunch of really cool clients, met like a lot of really cool friends who are entrepreneurs through that. And then yeah, just like eventually started getting like a little bit wider and wider my content, and started talking about other stuff I cared about, like my health and
Day in the life.
Yeah, some life advice.
You're reviewing websites a lot. I got a lot of good tips from those too when you're like reviewing sites, seeing what does well. And just so everyone knows, the reason this podcast even exists in this current state was because of this man right here. Because he was telling me about all his different opportunities getting from building the audience. And I was like, and at first I was doing that, but then I see like you're self-aware, I'm self-aware. I just hate editing. And so that's why I do this and then outsource everything else.
Totally.
But yeah, so definitely this is his influence. So Ali, thank you very much for that.
Oh, of course, man.
So you're doing that. You're growing the pages. Pages at what, like 44,000 right now?
Yeah, some 40 something thousand. Yeah. So the page was doing super well. It kind of got to this place where I was getting like these random like brand deal opportunities from TikTok that I never wanted to do. It was like, oh yeah, promote this like chatbot thing or like some crypto coin, and I was like, I just like never wanted to do that. It didn't make sense, and it was more so it was just like this pressure to like I just like don't want to like have to make some video be good for some brand and like get paid a few $100 to do it. So I was thinking of different ways to monetize my page aside from like the consulting work I was doing that was ultimately taking too much time, because I was like, yeah, sure, I can get like 50 more clients right now, but then I'm just like, that's a new job. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like leaving my job and I'm just like working for now, like instead of one person, like 50 people.
Exactly.
And the consulting got really cumbersome in that way and annoying for me, because it was like, you have this vision of how things can work. Like, let's say I'm consulting someone on like content and creating content. Like, you can give them advice and you can like show him how to do that. I was even introducing people to like editors and people I was working with. But if it like 9 out of 10 times it's not executed properly, and then you just feel like you're giving awful advice. So I just didn't like disappointing people, and consulting just wasn't the best way for me to help people. I just like wasn't able to go deep enough. It wasn't working a lot of the times. And then oftentimes, as like, an honest consultant, like it's hard to just be like, as a consultant, don't pay a consultant.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like it kind of felt like I was just, working with small brands just felt like I was robbing them at times, and I just like really didn't like that feeling.